My name is John Rafacz. I'm the head of communications at Treyarch.
I'm not the table you can come and lay your cup down. I'm not the shoulder for a bag. I wanna carry a heavy load. I'm not the road that you take when you're looking for a shortcut. Carnage. I'm like the trash can, not the last man at the finish.
Well, during the development process, actually going back to Black Ops 2, we knew very early on that we wanted to not only do Black Ops 3, but sort of carry that universe forward. So, for Black Ops 2, we created a story that brought us to the year 2025 and kind of had us thinking about what the near future would look like. And we created this rich backdrop of this fictional world, and we wanted to carry that forward. What would happen if we carried that forward 40 years into the future and completed sort of like this trilogy of thought, in the sense that, you go back to Black Ops 1 and it's very much about man corrupting man and sort of these issues of mind control. You go to Black Ops 2 and it's very much against man. It's very much about man, corrupts machine, where you had Raul Menendez hijack the US drone fleet and turn it against us. And, now it's really sort of about machine corrupting machine, because now you've got the introduction of this subdermal interface called DNI technology, or direct neural interface technology. So it's really about this world where the lines between humanity and warfare are blurred. So it really kind of gives us the ability to explore a lot of different elements of our story and our fiction by carrying it out to 2065. Plus, it gives us a lot of new opportunities for new gameplay. With Call of Duty World at War, we first introduced co-op, and with the introduction of next-gen technology and a 3-year development cycle, we saw a real opportunity to bring back co-op in a big way. So with Black Ops 3, we're bringing the idea of 4-player co-op, and we're really excited to bring this to fans, because it really means a lot of different things. First, it had a direct impact on the level design itself. No longer are you necessarily on the rails following player X. Now it opens up gameplay, so you and up to 3 friends are now able to sort of engage a space however you want or need to. There's a lot more freedom, and that's allowed us to sort of open up design and these larger battle areas. We just love the fact that, like, now, within the framework of campaign, you've got all the tools that you need to jump online with 3 of your friends. But we've also constructed it in a way that if you want to play through in solo mode, if you're just a go at it alone campaign kind of guy, you can do that too. So whether you want to play on your own or with friends, like, co-op's there to sort of broaden that experience. And it brings a lot of other new sort of gameplay design features as well. Pretty exciting. So with the introduction of co-op, there are a lot of other features that we've been able to bring into campaign. So in between each of the levels that you experience, we're taking you to this place called the Safe House. All right, and if you think back to Black Ops 1, you were strapped into that interrogation room chair, and this takes that idea and just puts it on absolute steroids. So you get to meet up with your 3 co-op friends in the Safe House, and this is where you rig out your equipment, you show off your medals, you sort of get ready for the mission at hand. And when you talk about the story, is that, think of it as like picking up a book. All right, if you want to cut to the last page or read the last chapter, you can. Who are we to stop you? So with Black Ops 3, if you want to jump into a game with 3 friends who have played a little bit more than you can jump into any level that you want. All right, you're no longer sort of bound by those restrictions anymore. So you've got the Safe House, you've got co-op. What else was on the list? Sure. Wow. Okay. Well, the big one is really being able to choose gender. You can play as a male or female throughout the campaign, and each one of them has their own distinctive mocap and their own voice. So, you can live the experience however you want. And of course, You get to decide, am I going to pick this up and play on my own or with 3 other friends? But then whenever you get into it, you're able to sort of engage levels and have fun with that Call of Duty action like you've never been able to before. So whenever you take a look at the introduction of specialists in multiplayer, they bring a very special kind of component to gameplay now. So if you'll jump into multiplayer the same as you have before. You'll rig out your classes, you'll rig out your score streaks, but now there's an opportunity to pick a specialist. All right, and at the beginning of each game, you pick a specialist. You don't get to switch specialists during a match, and you may pick. Each one of them comes with a weapon and an ability, and you may pick one or the other, okay? And you stick with that throughout the match. Once you're done with the game, you can come out, you can switch up your specialist or the weapon or ability. But what's really great about specialists, what I really appreciate, is that it really kind of gives you the opportunity to do something extraordinary, even when you are, like me, a pretty average player, okay? And it's just like, when you earn enough experience points through a match, you are given the opportunity to wield a badass weapon or do something really special in terms of an ability that, maybe you couldn't have gotten with a normal score streak or a normal weapon loadout. So it really kind of helps spike the power band for users at a point, throughout the game and give you a chance to do something that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise. So for anyone that's worried about, specialists possibly being overpowered, I'll say that, the team has given that a great deal of thought, and that's part of the reason why, we're, doing a beta, in August, is that we're going to give people the chance to bang on it in the public, and we'll find out sort of, what kind of adjustments need to be made. And we're really looking for people to really kind of hammer on it and, give us that data so that, by day one, everything is as it should be. So, right now, you're playing a pre-alpha version of the game, and so there may be instances where things might need to be dialed up or down a little bit. I think that in terms of putting hands on it at this point, we're really proud of where we're at with the game. But we've got a little ways until November 6th, and we'll be taking a look at guys like you who can wield a shotgun like that. We haven't really gotten deep into specific modes of play that will be available. I have a funny feeling that tonight on the ESL live stream, David Vonderhaar might talk about some of the competitive modes that are in play, but in terms of the full menu of modes, you'll have to hang tight for a little bit. That's a really great question. When it comes to making sure, Call of Duty has been around long enough to cater to a number of different player types. If you've been playing Call of Duty from the beginning, you've been playing a straight-ahead World War II shooter to a modern game to something in a future setting, and there are a number of different gameplay styles along the way. And it was really important for us that none of those fans felt isolated with this game. So really, in terms of just a general design approach, it was really important, especially for the multiplayer team that ambitiously introduced this new movement system. All right, that you have the opportunity to do new and amazing things in an environment that's custom built for this movement system, but at the same time doesn't isolate any one player. Okay, so there's some very basic philosophies that went into this. I say basic, but these are really big design principles, and that all action stays in frame. All right, you never have to worry about someone sort of bouncing around or running off. All right, everything is right there. For this new movement system, it's there's constant sprint, but it really helps promote this idea of guns up all the time. So you're never too far from any engagement. All right, there's no reason to put your gun down. You're always in a position to get into a fight and let the best gun win. And with all of that being said, there's sort of incorporating that trademark Call of Duty feel to it, so that whether or not, you played Black Ops 2 last, or, World at War, there's a place for you in terms of gameplay style that you're not going to feel left out of the mix. Wow, zombies. I mean, what? So we, with the on-disc experience, Shadows of Evil, we're bringing really the deepest zombies experience we've ever had, and part of what makes that so is we're introducing, its own level progression system for zombies. So, if you think back to sort of how level progression and XP kept you engaged in multiplayer, now you've got that for zombies too. But also, zombies fans have really kind of shown us how much they love to explore and how much they love to engage in a very special brand of story. We're serving that up by the boatful with Shadows of Evil. So there's a lot of stuff to dig into, a lot of Easter eggs to be found.